Sure, black people.
It should have been black people, but hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome this evening. My name is Apostle Dogino. We'll be having a 101, a special discussion for men, for the guys. We want to talk about this issue, which sometimes, is treated like a taboo. Men, it's too private to men, but I think that it's time to bring it to the open to discuss it from a health perspective. And so we want to talk about sperm count and issues around the sperm count. So I have today a very special guest, Dr. Efugule, who is a house nurse or general practitioner in our community. He has graciously accepted our invitation to come to help us look at this topic. Welcome, Dr. Efugule.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Well, as you know, every now and then, some men, get to worry about the sperm count and their sexual health. And so we'd like to look at this topic within the context of sexual fertility or fertility in men. And so hopefully we'll be able to would have answered some of your questions by the time we are done. Okay. Now, talking about men's sexual health and the sperm count, maybe I would like to, as an icebreaker, to ask you, does a man's fertility have anything to do with his sperm count?
Well, men are very strange creatures. They're very interested in procreation.
Yeah.
They're very interested in maintaining the family line.
Yeah.
And many men have come my way wanting to do a sperm analysis.
Wow.
And I asked them why. See, you can have a driver's license, but it doesn't mean that you can drive.
Oh, I thought before you get a driver's license, you must have done some driving.
You must have done a driving test, but that doesn't mean you're a good driver, or that you're a safe driver, or that you are qualified to operate every machinery that comes your way.
Okay.
But again, sperm analysis is very important to men because we equate the concept of being reproductively healthy with having a normal sperm analysis or sperm count. But it's not always that way because it takes, in reproductive issues, it always takes two to tango. So you always have a man and a woman. It's not necessary for men to just request for a sperm count unless there are specific issues that we know that are present in the person that could be a risk or could be a factor that promotes infertility or that a man is unable to produce sperms. But after a year of consistent, unprotected sexual intercourse between a male and a female.
With the same partner or different partners?
The same partner. We need a year of consistent exposure at a frequency of 2 to 3 times a week. And a year consistently. If a couple is unable to achieve pregnancy, then we can say, well, okay, let's take a look and find out what the problems are. But usually in cases of infertility, 50% of the problem is from the man and 50% from the woman.
Okay.
And strangely enough, sometimes there's no problem with both. It's just that they are unlucky. The time is not right. So I started by saying you can have a driver's license. But it doesn't mean that you're a good driver.
Can you really
or you're a lucky
apply
driver.
that to the issue we're dealing with? Because I don't quite understand.
We may not directly apply it, but it's something that we can, it's an analogy we can use to discourage people from thinking that if they have a sperm count, then they are the most fertile men around.
Oh, right.
They can go about and keep making
laying
babies
their
all
eggs
over the place.
everywhere.
No. But it's a good topic because one, sperm analysis looked at looks at a man's sperm and sees the health of the sperm.
Okay.
He also looks at the vitality of the sperm and the viability of the sperm in terms of reproduction. That's just it.
So what would give cause to somebody want to do a sperm analysis? You said, okay, if let's say a couple try to get together for 1 year consistently and still are not able to get pregnancy out of it, then that might give cause to investigating what's going on. That's a genuine
reason to
look into
it. There are extreme situations where we know that there is a problem with the organ that produces sperms, and that's the testis. For instance, if somebody has had an infection a long time as a child called mumps, or there is a tumor of the testes, or they are going to receive radiation therapy and they still want to be able to have children afterward, then we talk about that we need to do a check on the sperms, or we need to take out some sperms and preserve them for future use. But under normal circumstances, we do not expect that healthy, normal individuals will go about doing sperm analysis, because the only proof of fertility is being out there to prove it. So everybody can have a normal sperm analysis, but to prove that you can make a baby is when you are able to make your woman pregnant.
Okay, so then if we were living, if Abraham or Zachariah were living nowadays, we probably would have subjected them to sperm analysis.
Yes,
because it took a while.
Actually, yes. If Abraham was like any other man, we could have actually asked him if he had a doctor in the States. I don't know if he did. We could have asked him to do a sperm analysis. He would have come to you. I can imagine a bearded man coming to you with a 75-year-old woman and telling you, doctor, we've been trying for so many years. And he talks about 10, 20, 30 years and it doesn't seem to be working. Can you help us? My wife is here. I love her with everything I have in me, but it's not working. I need to look to things, and few things what we do in the sperm. We tell we can do your sperm analysis, but 3 things I want to check in your sperm is I want to know if you have sperms in the first instance, Mr. Abraham. Because if you do not have sperms, then you can of course ordinarily achieve or make somebody pregnant. So we look at the number of sperms, but that's not just not what we do. We look at the shape of the sperms.
That's even the shape.
The shape is important. But we also
I wish you could actually graphically tell us something. So these are some of the slides you want to show us?
Yes, you can start with the first slide that showed a normal sperm, and under there you have the fact that sperms could be defective. So it's not just about the number. It's also
Can we have a first slide, please?
The quality.
Yes, I'm coming.
Okay. Is that the one?
Yes. If you look at the first slide there, the top is a normal sperm. I've just blown it up. A normal sperm has 3 parts. There is the head part that actually contains the nuclear material that a man wants to give to his offspring. There is a middle piece and there is a tail. Now that tail is responsible for the sperm swimming. The head piece contains a lot of enzymes that help the sperm to attach to an egg when it gets there.
And the middle piece?
The middle piece contains also protein materials that helps to keep the structure stable. And the tail waggles through. So one of the things we look at when we look at the sperm for analysis is how much sperms are there. Because we know that under X amount of sperms, that most likely fertility may be impaired. Yeah. And secondly, we also look at the motility of the sperms. Now, if the sperms move well, most likely they will be able to reach the place where they are supposed to be and to meet the eggs in the right position. Okay? Yeah, we can edit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that short interruption. Okay. So you're explaining. Can we have that picture back again, please? Because we lost the picture. Okay. So we have the head part, the middle part,
and the tail.
The tail helps the sperm to move around, and the middle part has nutrients, which supports.
It's like a connection between the head, stabilizing factor, and the tail is what propels the sperm.
Yeah.
Now you can imagine every bit of this can be malformed.
Oh.
Because this is what a normal sperm looks like.
Yeah.
But you may have a sperm that has a very large head.
Yeah.
It may have double heads.
Oh.
It may have double tail. The head end may be malformed. And the middle part may also be malformed. And these all contribute to the viability of the sperm. Can it move to where it's supposed to be? Ordinarily, the sperm is deposited in the vagina of the woman. But the eggs are produced inside the woman, inside the pelvis itself.
Yeah.
So the sperm has to swim up. And that's why the tail of the sperm is very important.
Yeah.
So the second thing we look at when we do a sperm analysis is the shape of the sperm. Now, if you look at that projection, the shape of the sperm is very important, like we just said.
Which is the first slide, please?
No, this slide is good.
This is the one.
This slide is good.
Okay.
I've tried to, the first slide on the top, you have a field that has a lot of sperms on it. That's what a normal slide would look like when you have a sperm under the microscope. You see, when you have semen under the microscope, you see a lot of sperm cells. The other part that is scanty.
Yeah, the middle one.
Yeah, the side top part. The first.
We're looking at the top section now.
The top section.
Left or right?
Yeah. The left side from this direction. The middle slide shows you a sperm, but the form is not proper.
Normal.
On one side, you see a normal sperm on the left.
Yeah.
And on the right side, the shape is not normal.
It's not normal, okay.
The last slide on the top right-hand corner shows you the sperm that is normal, swimming in a particular direction.
Yeah.
And the second part, that's a bit yellow, shows you a sperm that has a very bad motility. It's moving, but its movement is completely purposeless. Now, just about the under part, I've tried to put a picture of a woman's vagina on the lower side, the womb on the other side, and the tubes at the sides. Now, can you imagine that you deposit a minimum of 20 million sperms in the vagina of a woman?
Yeah. Which happens in a normal sexual intercourse.
Of course.
Okay.
And those 20 million people would need to fight to move up.
Yeah.
First, within the vaginal environment, they have to accommodate themselves.
Yeah.
Because they are coming from a sperm, they are in a semen.
Yeah.
That is different. Different person. Yeah. They get into a very alkaline position. They have to try to survive there, and then they move up, and that journey has to be purposeful. They need the tail to be able to propel themselves to get to the upper part.
Yeah.
So those three things.
And that journey, how long does it take? The swimming.
That journey can take about an average sperm is able to live for about 24 to 48 hours. An average egg lives for about 24 hours
as well.
So you have actually a window of about 24 hours to fertilize an egg that is produced. So you have all these millions of people, small people, swimming like crazy and running up under the influence of some chemical attraction, going in the direction of where they are supposed to be.
Okay.
So these are some of the essential things. If you have plenty of sperms and they just stay in the vagina where you left them, are useless to you in terms of procreation.
Absolutely.
They don't do anything. That's why, when we look at it, we don't put a stamp and say, yes,
once you can
he has
sperms,
50 million sperms. This guy is fertile. Sell him to anybody. He can produce children. So we won't be able to say that. We need structure and we need function.
Yeah.
And the environment has to be conducive for the purpose for which we request for sperm.
Now, granted that somebody has this right sperm count, and the person, has a right sperm count, and yet is not able to. I just can't figure out what I just mixed the question I was about to ask. But okay, the sperm count is right, and the person is not able to, pregnant a woman. So then we think that maybe something is wrong with the structure of the sperm. Something may be wrong with the structure of the sperm, or because the sperm is not able to swim to fertilize the egg.
Yes. These are
possible scenarios.
But we're looking at it from the 50% that is the male sex part.
Yeah. Okay.
We have not looked at the 50%.
Yeah, exactly. Let's assume that side is okay.
Well, if we assume that side is okay, there's a factor of timing.
Timing as well.
I told you, a female has a window of 24 hours on the average that she is fertile.
Yeah.
So you can have sexual contact for lots of days during a woman's cycle. But if you don't have
that 24-hour
window of opportunity,
then it's chances are
it's wastage.
Yeah.
Because it takes about 70 days to make a single sperm.
70 days.
An average of 70 days. But millions and millions of sperms are produced by the male.
Yeah.
So in terms of cost effectiveness, the male wastage is very high.
Very high.
But a woman makes maybe every month about 5 eggs begin to ripen, and at the end of the day you have 1 or 2 being ovulated, being released. There's an egg jump.
Okay.
So she makes 2.
Yeah.
So by the time she's 45, 50, the reserve of eggs is gone in a female. Right. But men have a factory down there, and their wastage is very high.
They keep
produce millions and millions, but the cost efficiency
also decreases.
It's why it decreases. But if you just need 1 lucky sperm to make a woman pregnant, but you decide to make 20 million at least, you're not efficient.
But the fact is that the man has no control over that, isn't it?
No, he has no control in the sense of being able to control it.
Yeah.
Well, later we'll talk about factors that may affect sperm production.
Yeah.
But having said that, we have a range that if a man in an ejaculate can produce about 20 million sperms, we say, well, he has enough sperm concentration.
Okay.
And we have not talked about the shape of the sperms.
Yeah.
We have not talked about the movement of the sperms.
Yeah.
All we know is that there's quantity. But it's like the sea.
Yeah.
There is water everywhere, but there is none to drink. It's salty.
Yeah.
So you need to get that small water can that you took from offshore to be able to save you when you actually need it.
Absolutely.
So it's the Creator, in His magnanimity, gave man such a gift and a lot.
Wow.
He could, even in his late years, he could still make sperms. We don't encourage people to be old fathers, but he could make a lot.
Yeah.
He could make a lot.
Wow.
Women don't have so much to waste, and they finish their reserve at an earlier age than the men. But as men, we waste a lot of sperms every day.
Well, in case you listen to this program, we're talking about male fertility, especially with special focus on the sperm count, the factors which affect the production of sperm, and also its ability to do its job. That is to fertilize an egg for a baby to come as a result. And so hopefully you can interact with us. You can give us a call on 020-3374-160 if you have any question or remark for Dr. Oguli. Now this is quite, I had never heard the discussion about the sperm and the features, that actually contribute to it being effective in doing its job, like we're talking about right now. And especially those slides we were looking at, that is quite an eye opener. Now, can somebody experience infertility even though the person has a good sperm count?
Infertility is a definition that says a couple is unable to achieve pregnancy after 1 year of consistent habitation, unprotected sexual intercourse, and in the absence of an obviously identifiable cause in the first instance.
Okay.
Then we say there is an infertility issue.
Yeah.
And then we go take a step to look.
Yeah.
For a man, it's easier. We ask him to produce a sperm, and we test it.
Right.
For the woman, we have to think about, is the woman producing enough eggs or an egg in the first instance? Is the womb okay in the first instance? When the eggs are produced, are the tubes open or healthy enough in terms of structure and function for fertilized eggs eventually, or sperms to travel through to meet the eggs at the point of production? Or are the ends of the tubes functioning properly for them to pick up the eggs, like tentacles? They actually pick up the eggs from the ovaries when they are released, put them in, and then comes Mr. Sperm swimming in. Sperms are very selfish. Once one sperm hits the head, puts his head on the egg, it buries it inside and causes a reaction to occur around the egg, so that no other sperm can get in.
It is amazing.
And together they travel through the fallopian tubes and they get into a prepared womb.
Whoa.
So timing is very important in a female.
Amazing.
So you find even in animals, when a female is on heat, the male knows it. It smells the urine. It picks it.
Okay.
And they get, wow, that's the time to mate.
Wow.
We don't have that kind of seasonal thing.
Amen.
But I remember a story in 1967. One of the heroes of the Yom Kippur War in Israel. They were trying to have a baby, but there was a war going on between Israel and one of the countries in the Middle East. So this film depicted this lady came back from the gynecologist, and she was in a ovulation period. And there was a call for all the men to pick up their arms, put on their uniforms, and go to work. And this lady actually held the man, said, no, I'm having an egg jump today. So I know you gotta go, but now you just have to shoot these little guys inside and let me go. That's the situation where they've been trying to get pregnant and it's not been working. So the woman decided, this is my ovulation time. The gynecologist says, whatever your husband is doing today, let him at least deposit sperms and go. this is how women can view the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yes, infertility issue is not just about one person; it's about two. And sperm analysis is the easiest thing you can do in a man. To find out if his problem, if the problem is from him or not. Once you establish that, that's fine. But at least you know he has sperms. You don't know where he deposits it,
and you don't know the structure, the quality of it.
You don't know. Yeah, well, you find out the quality. But I will tell you a story. A long time ago, my professor told me when he was studying in the UK as a student. We're talking about the early 50s and the 60s. Long time ago. He said as a student, a couple came in that they had been trying for 1 year to get pregnant and it was not working. So, so the doctor asked, so how do you do it? So the man said, when I got married to her, she was a virgin. I didn't want to break the hymen. So I decided instead of going through the front part, let me do it through the backside. So for 1 year, he had been putting everything in the backside. And after 1 year, he came back to complain that there was no baby.
It's real funny.
But this was in England in the 50s, and it's changed today. But, so you need to ask.
It's unbelievable. Well, how are you really going about it?
Yeah, you need to ask if they are doing the right thing at the right time. And you also need to look at the penis. Some people have a penis that is crumb at the end. In other words, it may make penetration difficult or even painful.
Really?
Some men may ejaculate before they go in because premature ejaculation, they are so excited before they go anywhere, the beans is spilled on the floor. So you need to take all the relevant history to find out if the simple things have been done. If those things are done, then yes, we can go ahead. So we don't just say, oh, you're having a problem with, okay, let's do a sperm analysis. No, ask questions. You'd be surprised at what you get. But also they may be doing the right things. It's not happening. That way you go, okay, let's do a sperm analysis. And you give them certain instructions on what to do, how to prepare for a sperm analysis.
I was just wondering, what is your take on this? Do you think men in recent times have fewer or more fertility problems, like what we're talking about? Because I know a lot has changed. Men, so like some men have become too focused on career, like women as well, and so sometimes they settle down late in life, and so all kinds of factors are, and the stress levels and what have you. So many issues are playing out right now. So, can you tell us whether men these days have more fertility problems than men in the past?
The world population has grown.
Exactly.
So the last 20 years. So I don't think we're having less babies born.
We're having more babies born as well.
We are making babies, and the population of the world is growing.
It's coming more from the developing countries. Here in the West, they're actually declining in their baby production.
They are declining, but migration is also helping to kind of balance the equation. But also because of the economic situation, people aren't having so many children. But I'm going to tell you this. Observations have shown that the average sperm count has decreased in the last years. In 1999, we said, well, if you have 40 million sperms minimum, we accept it as normal. That's in 2009, the WHO, the World Health Organization, said, well, maybe that's too much. Let's go for 20 million. Because they realized over the course of the decades that the sperm quantity have actually dropped.
And why is that?
Well, maybe it's because our environment is no longer so clean as it was 20, 30 years ago. Maybe we're smoking more marijuana, we're using more cocaine and heroin. All those recreational drugs may have effect. Maybe we're drinking more coffee, we're taking more alcohol, we're taking less rest.
Does coffee actually affect sperm production?
Coffee, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, they affect sperm production.
Really?
They actually make them less. So we need to have some of the drugs are even used to treat, like cimetidine we used to treat ulcer. they decrease the amount of sperms that we produce. So we need to look at all those things, because we have so many things more in our environment today than where. I'll ask people, when you're stressed, don't do a sperm analysis, because the quantity may be less. If you are on cigarette, if you're on coffee, try to stop them at least 5 days before you do a sperm analysis. We ask people.
Go ahead. Have a question.
Yeah. So those Dutch people who are drinking coffee every day.
Yeah.
So their sperm analysis would, from what the doctor is saying now, would be very poor.
Well, we're not saying it's very poor.
Okay,
See,
very low,
the issue with numbers is that numbers do not always say he's infertile or he's fertile. But we know over the senior that the sperm quantity of men is on the decrease. Well, that's not a problem, because I dropped 40 million to 20 million. Well, I can still have babies at 20 million. You just need one.
Why is it that in the past the sperm count had been a measure of determining whether or not a person can really make babies?
Well,
it used to be a big issue. If the man had fewer sperm count, they say, oh no, that's too low, do something to boost it, and now you were saying that it's not really a big deal.
Well, there's something we call the VCM. We multiply the volume of the sperm produced, which needs to be at least 2 milliliter per ejaculate. Before we accepted that 2 to 5 milliliter was okay. But now we say, 2 milliliter is okay. We looked at the number, the concentration of sperm per milliliter, and we multiply it with that, and we multiply it also with the percentage of mobile sperms. So these three things are the variables that we consider. There are also other things we look at, but we multiply together, and if we get less than 1 million sperms in the person, we think no, the chances of this person spontaneously impregnating the woman is less. Not because the sperm number is less, but because we know from statistically and by allowing these men to go on and have sex, that babies tend to be absent in those that have less than 1 million sperms. Together in the whole ejaculate. 1 million viable and functionally motile sperms. So 1 million is where you say, I think, brother, we need to do a bit more. Maybe we need to take out the sperms, wash them, clean them, and put them in your wife.
Come with them.
So that,
wash and clean.
I mean, just by virtue of saying. But you can actually take sperms from a man, prepare them, and reuse them to fertilize a woman. If the sperm production is such low that it's unable to, or if the man had been sick and you had taken sperms away, preserved them before you gave him radiation, you can now use the sperms to fertilize the woman. That's it. But yes, sperm numbers is not always the same as he is infertile. I know a lot of people have carried it around and says he has low sperm count. What does that mean in the practice? I see men who have lower sperm count and they have more children, and those who have plenty of sperms and they don't have any. So there's a lot of factors that play into the issue of sperm quality, quantity, viability, and the health of the sperm. You also have to consider the health of the person. Does he have diabetes? Does he have hypertension or heart disease? Is he on medications? A total picture is important when we deal with these issues. So not just the quantity. I tell you a story. People that have a lot of money, but they don't know how to invest it. So you can have 2 million in your hands, but the stress of not knowing what to do with the money, how to put it in the right place to yield for you. That's dummy kind of issues.
Yeah.
Because knowledge is very important. Where you put your stuff is also very important.
Wow.
So it takes two to tango.
Yeah. Well, you said things which actually have set me thinking, because the issue of the count really is not a crucial thing, and that's a good point you made. So I was going to ask you whether they're setting, well, Viagra which people use, whether people can use that to increase or decrease their sperm count. But you were saying that the sperm count does not even count. It's not really important.
It's important to
but
know.
But not very.
It's important to know because it tells you at does the man have sperms or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
So if that be the case, that the sperm count doesn't matter anymore, so how come that in Africa it's like when you meet women who have stayed without, who are looking for the fruit of the womb, they want to be pregnant, they always will tell you, yes, they told me that my husband is having a low sperm count. So they put that in their mind, and then they go about rehearsing it that the husband is having a low sperm count. But now we are hearing something totally different. So that means even with a low sperm count, you can still pregnant a woman. Is that what you are saying?
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying low sperm count. You say, when you say low sperm count, it doesn't say anything.
It's relative.
So what you need is just one sperm to swim to the place.
Well, I think that's a lucky sperm. You need one sperm to fertilize an egg, and that's it. But at least we need the volume times the concentration times the number of motile sperms to be at least 1 million.
1 million, okay.
1 million.
So you mean out of the collection of sperm, so how many millions, 20 or 40 million, you need, say, 1 million out of that to be solid, and out of which the first lucky one must come?
That's just one lucky one.
Okay.
But we need at least 1 million solid sperm.
Solid guys to go.
So, sperm count is relative.
Yeah.
The numbers are relative.
Okay.
That's what I want to give you.
Yeah.
But we know that there are numbers that we have, and we know that these men consistently have a problem with getting their women pregnant.
Yeah.
So we need to help them in that regards. But we don't want people going around with, I have a low sperm count. I have a low sperm count. As if they get a prize for having a low sperm count. Or we should pity the woman because the husband have a low sperm count.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not. Somebody said that there is danger in a single story because you miss the balance to be able to make a healthy decision. So we can't make a decision about infertility based on a single sperm count. Actually, we need people to have at least 3 sperm counts.
Okay, what are the three?
We need at least within a space of 2-3 months. Before you produce a sperm, you should have absented from any form of ejaculation in 2-3 days. I advise just take about a week off. And do it at least within 3 months. You can do 3.
Like that.
Separate analysis.
Okay.
And you collect the results together and find the average. Because on a day-to-day basis, these guys are being produced. There's a factory producing them. If you wear pants that are very tight, nylon type, you generate a lot of heat around your perineum area. The production goes low. NEPA has taken light. If also you wear boxers that give you enough ventilation, the production in the factory is better.
Wow.
So there is a variation in production, but you do an average of 3. The best way to produce sperm is to masturbate, put it in a clean container. Within 30 to 60 minutes, it should be at the laboratorium. If you are producing it in your house, it should be transported and held at body temperature. In other words, put it under your shirt. Let it be in contact with your skin.
Then before you go.
And run to the laboratory. They need to analyze those sperms within 30 to 60 minutes of production. Otherwise, you have sperms dying. You look there, you may see millions of sperms on your microscope, but they are not moving because they are dead already.
Oh.
It's very sensitive.
So timing is very important. Sometimes people produce the sperms while wearing a condom, but there are special condoms that do not have things that kill sperms in them. So if you use those normal condoms to produce sperms and transport it there, those spermicides, chemicals that kill sperms in the condoms, would kill sperms. So you get a wrong sperm analysis. If you've been smoking a lot of cigarettes and marijuana, lots of alcohol, yes, the sperm count will be abnormal. Wow. So I take some precautionary measures before you produce sperms for analysis.
Wow. Wow.
Timing is crucial because when you produce sperm for analysis, you're putting them in a container. Under normal circumstances, you put the sperms, deposit them in a woman's vagina.
Yeah.
That's a different environment
altogether, yeah.
For the sperms to function better.
Exactly.
You put them in a container, you have to hurry to the lab.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So there's now to the question of diet, because I would like you to show us the rest of the slides if there's something you'd like to show us. But before that, can the things we eat, already you mentioned coffee, for example, but are there other kinds of diet which can enhance the quality of the semen that we produce?
There are a lot of things going on around that may, on the market, homeopathic things that they say may improve. Some people tend to have a result with them, others do not. So really? Scientifically, we have not found any of the diets or homeopathic things to be effective, provenly effective in boosting sperm production.
Okay.
There are things that we have seen people use, maybe by luck they get pregnant and their sperm count
also goes
improves on it. We may encourage people to use them in the absence of nothing.
Okay.
To use them, but we tell them scientifically we can't prove it, but they may help you. But we can't say, yes, this is it, take it and use it. Yes. But we can tell, look, if you use recreational drugs, they will also affect your sperm quality.
What do you mean recreational
alcohol
drugs?
Beverages.
Oh, okay.
They do. Heroin. It reduces sperm count. Marijuana, I kept saying it, hash, janga, whatever they call it.
Ganja.
It reduces sperm count.
Yeah.
Some herbs they use, like the St. John's wort, Africans are not used to that. They know it affects sperms. Caffeine, coffee, they do affect sperm quality and quantity. And those things we can avoid them. But the normal food that we eat, sometimes they have said Coca-Cola, Fanta, as are stories that touch the heart. But they don't really say anything scientifically that if we use these things on a consistent basis, that our sperm count will be low.
Okay.
Or that will become
so
infertile.
What about a man, maybe who loves sugary things, maybe candies or candy bars or Coca-Cola, as you're saying? Does that hinder or affect the sperm count?
Well, we don't know for sure that it does. We have not had any convincing evidence that it does.
Okay. So that's a myth.
Exercise would help him to improve his sexual efficiency.
Okay.
Wearing pants made from cotton instead of nylon would help to keep the temperature lower, so that his testes can produce more sperms.
Okay. Well, you were going to show us a slide.
Well, there was a last slide I wanted to show.
The third one,
that's the male.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to feature a cross-section of the male reproductive area.
Yeah.
Up there, in the darker shade, is the bladder.
It's the bladder.
And right under the bladder is that organ we call the prostate gland.
Yeah.
Now, if you see the connection of ducts and tubes, coming up from the two balls right just behind and under the level of the head of the penis.
Yeah.
Those are the testes.
Yeah.
That's the area where men produce the testosterone hormone.
Yeah.
They also produce the sperms there.
Mm-hmm.
When a man has an orgasm, the sperms are squeezed through these tubes called the vas deferens up and into the tube opening to the prostate.
Yeah.
And together, the same force propels it down the urethra to the outside of the penis. Okay. That's an outline of the male reproductive organs.
Right.
For us to appreciate what it looks like. So you can imagine the amount of force that a man uses when he actually ejaculates.
Yeah.
Enough to propel the sperms to.
It is quite amazing.
The upper end of the vagina.
Yeah. It is quite amazing.
It is.
A lot of force.
It's a lot of force.
Impressive.
Indeed.
Impressive. Yeah. Whoa. Impressive. Yeah. And if after all that effort, then you don't produce babies, then it can be quite a.
Well, there are two things to it. You can do it for pleasure. You can do it geared towards reproduction.
Yeah.
But you see, most of the time, I don't know how it happens, but when we are focused on reproduction, it tends not to happen. But when we are focused on pleasure, it tends to happen. So maybe we should just zero our minds
and then leave it to God.
Yeah, but a bit of knowledge about how the system works is very important. If you know that a woman has a window of maybe 24 to 48 hours when she's fertile, target for those areas, for those timings. Today we have things that we can use for home testing. That you know when a woman is going to have an egg jump.
Wow.
We have ovulation kit. You can buy it and begin to test it. You can also measure a woman's basal body temperature. Temperature in the mornings when she wakes up. Put a thermometer under the tongue and you measure it. If you track the temperature at the point when an egg is being released, certain hormones are also being released that causes the egg jump, and afterwards another hormone called progesterone is produced. The temperature tends to rise by a factor of 0.5 to 1. If you pick it on a graph that you can plot for 2-3 cycles, you can actually calculate a woman's pattern. And you can read off when she will probably be having an egg jump. When you can do that, you can now back it up with an ovulation kit and say, well, around this area, I would like you guys to concentrate on having unprotected sexual intercourse, not through the anus, but through the vagina, if you want to achieve conception.
But there's nothing, if you want to go to the backside, there's nothing can happen there. So I don't know why people would do that in the first place.
Sorry?
If people would do it, having intercourse through the backside, I mean, there's nothing can happen. So
no, nothing can happen, but people can hope for a miracle. Why I brought that question up was
I find it weird.
To my professor in 1950 and to a layman at that point, it was very funny to experience. But the man in his innocence said, I married a virgin and I wanted to remain that way. So, but that was the 50s. The 60s, we had this crazy revolution, and we think today that we are wiser. That's what we think. I don't know if we are wiser, but certainly life has become complexer over the years. We also live longer. If we live better, that's a different question. But things have certainly changed. Reproduction has also changed. The number of children per family has also changed. Today we are talking more about quality in terms of quantity. In those days in Africa, people needed more children for the farms. They didn't know which children will survive. So there was quantity. People had 9, 10. It was crazy. How those women survived. I had to raise all those children.
Amazing.
And even today, where men have 3, 4 wives, you still find that the number of children produced is quite a lot. And in these challenging times, honestly, I don't think it's adequate.
To raise a large family.
The resources can be adequate to take care of the children that are produced. And the population is growing. That means that there's more pressure on the available materials. That means we need to produce food at a rate that is higher than what we used to produce in the 60s. And we need to find that food distributed equally or reasonably all around the world. So we need to have tomatoes that not just produce 5 a year, but produce maybe 100 tomatoes per week or per month. Times are changing.
The demands have grown actually because population has grown as well. Awesome. Well, this is quite a revealing study, discussion about the sperm count. Honestly, some things I didn't know before. It's not about the volume of sperm that you produce, which we actually refer to as a count, but the other factors we must go together with the amount of sperm that you produce and to be able to help you make babies. Somebody may have a low sperm count, as we have been told, and yet still be able to have babies. So it's the quality of the sperm that has been produced that actually counts. And so those are some of the things we have spoken about in this discussion. Doctor, is there something you would like to add as we conclude this discussion?
Well, there are some things you can look at yourself, apart from the things we do at the laboratorium. If a man ejaculates and looks at the sperm, the sperm color is about whitish to gray, and it may be opaque. It takes about 15 minutes to 30 minutes for the sperm to actually liquefy. If you notice that you produce sperms and there's a red tint to it, it may be because there's blood in it. So there's perhaps due to the force of ejaculation, there may be damage to the blood vessels. It may not mean anything, but it's good to check it out. If it continues to happen, then it may also mean that there is something sinister occurring in the passage. So it's good for men to observe their sperms. Sometimes it may have a tinge of yellow. Now, there's some men that have what we call jaundice. Jaundice is yellowish discoloration of the white part of the eye, the sclera, because the liver or the drainages of the liver is not working adequately to take the products of red cell breakdown out of the body. Or sometimes people that take some medications for chronic diseases, those medications may be seen in the sperm, so it changes the color of the sperm. And it's important for us to know. Some other things we look at the sperm, not just the shape, not just the motility, but we measure the pH. The pH is a measure of the acidity or alkalinity of the semen. It should be between 7.2 and 7.8. If it's more than 8, we could consider that the person may have an infection that needs to be treated. We check that in the lab. If the pH of the semen is less than 7, it could be that there's a contamination or that the ejaculatory ducts, the vas deferens we talked about, is blocked. It takes on the average 15 to 30 minutes for the sperms to liquefy. Initially when it's produced, it is thick. But if you look at the sperm that you produce and it's kind of fluidy, it can also indicate that the watery component of semen is quite large compared to the amount of sperms in it. So there is a relative dilution. So you have volume, but it's not the quantity of the sperms is okay. And about the count, I said 20 million to 200 million is okay. If this number is low, being able to make babies may be somewhat difficult. But of course, that's the 50% in a man. We have not talked about
the woman,
in the woman. Again, it's just about fertility. That's what concerns us. But if there are infections like we talked about, we need to deal with it. If there are hormonal imbalances, like some diseases, some men just can't produce sperms. If you take the semen put on a microscope, there are no sperms in it.
Wow. So you mean some men can produce semen? All right.
Well, semen is the whole
thing. Yeah, the whole thing. But the
contains sperm cells. I think we've mixed up the two terms along in the discussion.
But I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Inside the semen, you have sperm cells. So you're saying some men can produce semen, all right, but no sperm cells in it.
Yes, it's possible. Because semen is produced by the fluid that follows the sperms along. From the testes, from the prostate, from the seminal vesicles.
All of those.
They add pepper, sugar and all that, just to
maintain, send the boys off.
Send the boys off. You send them off with something to eat on the way. If those areas are not functioning in a male, like those ducts can be obstructed. If there's a tumor there, some men that have had their prostates removed, instead of the sperms going through the passage and coming to the outside, it may actually be flushed backwards into the bladder. So instead of having an antegrade ejaculation, they have what we call a retrograde ejaculation. And you ask, why is my sperm not coming out? It's because they are moving backwards instead of moving.
So that's for people who have had surgery
prostates removed. And if we think the person is having an infection, if they've had an ejaculation, you take the urine and analyze the urine afterwards to see if there's evidence of infection, and you can treat it. Then it stops affecting sperm production in the person.
Awesome.
These are some of the things we can do to help a man who has low sperm count carry on. Again, the numbers are relative. Numbers are relative. And the sperms have to prove its worth when you actually have a woman on the ground. That's the message we want to
that is the main thing. The sperm have to show what it can
practice.
Do. So you done?
Yes, I am. Unless you have any other questions, or if
this pretty much does it, because the discussion kind of changed a bit along the lines which we tackled it. But I think you've gone in depth to explain about the sperm count, the sperm count, the quality of the sperm, and all these factors around the semen when it's produced, and that's quite important. And I think, well, for our viewers out there, I'm sure you have taken something away with you from this discussion. It may have been a bit high tech, but that nonetheless you have learned something, and now we made you curious, and you can discover some more. Hopefully, we'll get Dr. Willie back here to look at this another dimension of this topic. On this note, I would like to say a very big thank you, and we hope to have you back soon. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
All right.
Thank you.
We'd like to wish you a very good day, and keep watching Majesty Christian TV Network. Bye-bye.